Next up, we have Adam L. Barrett and Justin Meyer with a segment that we call Epoch News. Adam and Justin, take it away.
This is Epic Epoch News, where the words and the winds of the web work their way down to our will, and we present them to you as what's important and what happened in the last 6 weeks. The last 6 weeks, which we call Epic Epoch News. And so this epoch, or this last 6 weeks, what was probably the biggest news, but absolutely the most boring news, is the ECMA 2019 standard has been published. And what does that mean? Well, that ECMAScript is the standard that JavaScript is based on. And every year they release a standard, and it adds new features to the language, new and interesting bug fixes to the standard. It has been released, but the unfortunate part is that none of this should be any news to you if you've been keeping up, because all of this has been last year debating and deciding what should be in it. But let's talk about what's in ECMA 2019. And of course, that isn't 2013 versions higher than ECMA 6. They just called it ECMA 2015. ES 2015, not ES 6. Anyway, back onto this. What was new? We had some things like a flat map and flat were added to the array prototype. We had from entries added to the object constructor, which is a really cool way of the opposite of entries, basically. Some string methods, some optional catch binding. This is great. So now you don't actually have to put the little error thing and then just ignore it. You can just not have it. And then basically a whole bunch of other little things. Sort was decided and standardized on so that everybody does it the same. And some fixes to JSON and stuff. So some interesting news there. If you want, there is this great article that summarizes it up called ECMA 2019 and Beyond at arno.com. Another interesting piece of news, the JavaScript engine that basically powers Chrome and Node and a whole bunch of other things, V8, they had their 7.6 release. What came with the 7.6 release? The big one is JSON parse got like twice as fast, so that's pretty cool. The frozen and sealed objects, working with them has got a huge boost in performance. And then there was a couple of other language features, including what I like is the promise all settled. It's a ECMAScript proposal right now, which is basically like promise all, except it doesn't short circuit when one of them settles or when one of them errors out. It waits until everything settles, either resolves or rejects, and then gives you a presentation of all of them. Anyway, this should be out in Chrome 76 stable, and yeah, I think that's all for me. Justin, do you have any news to bring to the world in our Epic Epoch News?
I do. And I do want to mention the sorting is no minor feat, at least for me. I've had many people on CanJS say, hey, sorting is not stable because we just use the underlying sort. And this must be a bug in CanJS. I was like, no, it's just every browser sorts differently. Now they're all going to use a stable sorting algorithm. It's going to be great. I know Manuel has experienced that problem. Okay, so my news today is it's a pretty simple thing, but if you're like me and you've cared about the searchability of your JavaScript websites, you've probably known for a while that Google can crawl your websites and handle some limited amount of JavaScript, but they never really specified how much. Recently, this Google guide on how to make sure Google can index JavaScript has been updated. I saw a lot of talk on it just in the last month, so I'm not sure how much was before in the last month, but now there's a lot of good videos, a lot of good insights for different problems that you might face. The best thing, though, is if you have hooked up your website to work with the Google Search Console, you can put in a URL, and then you can get a whole lot of information on it. You click this live test URL. It doesn't actually typically take a minute or two.
While it's going, I'm going to ask, do you know if Google can index Velocirender websites?
No, I haven't tried a Velocirender website.
Yeah, I want to try that. Yeah.
So I forgot where was it? The Google index? It's somewhere in here. I just found it, and now I've already forgotten where it was. View tested page. You can see the result of the HTML. You can see a screenshot. There's more info. Actually told me, hey, I just realized Bitovi Academy is breaking for some reason in it. So we might be doing something JavaScript related that Google doesn't like. So I want to look into that now. So it's a pretty handy tool. This guide has a whole bunch of things, different problems that you can address. And I would also say this initial web page video, not super helpful, but the one right after that, this testing and debugging sites, this is the one that I found the most helpful. So just skip the other one if you know anything already about JavaScript and search. Not worth the 5-minute video, but this one is really good stuff. So that's it for me. That's it for Adam. Thanks, Jason.